Hi Gemini, thank you for joining me. We're doing love readings today. So this is a general read, it won't resonate for everyone, so please take the bits that fit and leave the rest, and cross watchers bear in mind that roles can be reversed. I'm going to start with a romance oracle, or two. This is actually take 2 for your reading. I did already do it, and it was a nice read, but I accidentally deleted it with some older videos. Lost, never to be found again. I can only assume that means that video wasn't supposed to come out. We have let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others, and religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I think for those of you who aren't religious, you know, it's being influenced by your spiritual path. By the divine. Okay. Why do we need help, Gemini? Let's take a look. Oh, 8 of Cups. 4 of Swords. Ooh. 7 of Pentacles. Ooh. 2 of Wands is the overall energy for the reading. I'm going to say for some of you, in particular with let your friends help you, you might be dealing with a separation or a breakup. Not sure yet if that would be a temporary separation. I've got the 8 of Cups. I feel as though you might have turned your back on your person, or this is representative of a past relationship, but I see that walking away from this was not easy. But it felt like a decision that had to be made for the good of your future, really. Perhaps you didn't see your future, the kind of future you hoped for with this person. For their energy, I have the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords. I do feel like their attention might have been diverted, potentially at work. I will go in and clarify, but I'm definitely getting a little bit of deception there. For the connection, I suspect that this was a relationship that maybe ended once, then a reconciliation was attempted. I'm not convinced that, you know, this is still ongoing or something that should be revisited, to be quite honest, but let's go in and take a look. Oh, let's look at the 8 of Cups in your energy. The Hermit and the 3 of Wands. Yeah, I think when you made that decision to walk away, it would have been a case of, I feel like you probably did try everything that you could to save that relationship, and it just felt like the time had come, really, that you knew there was nothing else that you could try, you know, and how much time were you wasting? I feel like it was a kind of moment of clarity where this is done. Despite it, it landed on my cat, despite it not being an easy decision. For the 4 of Swords, I have the Hierophant, sorry Belle, and the 6 of Cups. You may have been married to this person, you may have had children, and perhaps that's what makes it a bit harder. There was definitely a need to retreat, and you might have actually found that in that process, although you might not have been happy in the relationship anymore, you probably found yourself feeling quite lonely, mending that broken heart alone. Let's look at the 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Oh, wow. It was a definitely painful ending. Oh. 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords. They speak for themselves, really. But it feels like I have to turn my back on this because it's not going to get any better. You know, maybe something happened that was a final nail in the coffin, because I do feel that it was probably something that brought this to a head, but likely a relationship that you maybe hung on to for a bit longer than you should have done as well. So the connecting energy, let me look at the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles. We'll do the Page of Pentacles that I've got here. I wonder if they have connected with a younger person. I mean, younger than them or younger than you. Definitely picking up the younger person. And there's a lot of pentacles here as well. I do feel that they might have struck up a connection with somebody at work. I don't know if this was maybe a new job for them or a new role. But it just feels as though either them or this person wasn't there very long before this started. And I get a really standoffish feel from this person. Perhaps they just backed away from you. Maybe you knew what was going on at the time, or didn't face it head on. But they were, I feel, very much out to please themselves, to see to their own needs. For the Seven of Swords, I've got the Page of Cups, the Nine of Cups. Feels like a bit of an ego boost, if I'm honest. Feels like this person maybe felt like they were getting something that either that they shouldn't have, or that they maybe once upon a time thought that they couldn't have. Definitely picking up a younger energy. Let's look at the connection then, which I'm certain has ended. Oh, we've got there. King of Cups, Temperance. Okay, so when the relationship ended, I feel as though, like I said, it's maybe you found a new self-respect, and it feels like I deserve more and I'm worth more than this. And I think you probably knew that you had to have a complete separation in order for you to do the work that needed to be done for you to find yourself in a happy place. The Devil's come out, so possibly dealing with some toxic energy. And like I say, definitely infidelity. I do suspect you were married. And I've just got, although I feel that this relationship probably stopped and started more than once, when you made your decision up, I think that was absolutely final, and there were no talking about it, there was no getting around it, there was no let's try this, that or the other, it will have just been done. And I feel that you probably walked away quite the wounded warrior. You know, there were wounds that were still open that you'd maybe not yet even begun to start kind of healing. But I do think that process is definitely underway, if it's not already done by this time, because I don't feel that this is a very recent past. I just get a sense of you having to rebuild yourself. And what I like about that is that when we come out of a relationship like this, or we've been hurt, when we come back sort of stronger, we have different expectations of other people, of love, of what a relationship looks like. And I think that we can have more confidence in speaking up for ourselves, you know, when things aren't quite the way we want them to be. I like that. I'm just going to finish here then with the Two of Wands. What does the future hold, Gemini? Five of Wands, the Strength, and the Nine of Wands, so it's still there a little bit. I'm hoping for you that this is not, you know, questioning whether true love exists almost, or, you know, whether you can truly be happy and comfortable with somebody, because I still see that there's some elements of this are still with you today. The strength card's here as well, which makes me think you absolutely are trying to work through that. And I do get the sense that you're probably quite good in not letting that affect, you know, a future relationship in terms of the relationship dynamics, whether or not that's still going to be something that remains within you. That's the bit I'm not quite convinced about. But yeah, I do see you making all the right steps really towards managing that. So I don't know why, you know, the universe felt it relevant to bring this relationship to the forefront. But there will be a reason for that. You will have learned a lot from it, and I definitely think that overall it would have made you a stronger person and a better judge of character, actually. Okay, so I am wishing you the very best of luck for your love life moving forward, but I will leave that there for you today. Thank you for joining me.